I arrived in Paris in the afternoon. The airplane windows showed a city full of light and movement. Movement means everything is busy. Cars, people, and life. At the airport, I heard people speaking many languages: French, English, Arabic, and others I didn't recognize. Everyone seemed in a hurry, pulling their suitcases or calling someone on the phone. When I stepped outside, a cool breeze touched my face. The sky was blue, and the streets were full of taxis. I took a deep breath and said quietly, "Bonjour, Paris." I found a taxi driver and showed him the name of my hotel. He smiled and said, "Okay," with a strong French accent. On the way, I looked through the window. Cafes on every corner, people drinking coffee or reading newspapers, bicycles everywhere. Everything looked charming but unfamiliar. Charming means nice in a special or beautiful way. I smiled. My new adventure in France had just begun. Chapter 2. My first meal in France. After checking in at the hotel, I felt both hungry and curious. It was time for my first French meal. I walked to a small cafe near the hotel. The smell of bread and coffee filled the air. A waiter said politely, "Bonjour," and gave me the menu. But the menu was all in French. There were no pictures. I tried to read croissant, omelette, soupe à l'oignon. I didn't understand everything, but the word croissant looked familiar. I said, "1 croissant and coffee, please." The waiter nodded with a smile. When the food arrived, it looked simple but perfect. Warm, golden, and soft. I took a bite. It was fresh and delicious. Delicious means it tastes very good. I watched people at other tables, reading, talking, laughing softly. I felt peaceful, as if I were part of their morning routine. Chapter 3. Walking through Paris. After breakfast, I wanted to explore the city. I walked down long streets with tall old buildings. The doors were colorful and flowers hung from the windows. I saw the Eiffel Tower in the distance. It was even bigger than in pictures. Many tourists were taking photos, and local artists were selling small paintings nearby. I bought one painting of the tower as a souvenir. Souvenir means something you buy to remember a place. Later, I walked along the Seine River. Boats were moving slowly on the water, and couples were walking hand in hand. A musician played the violin, and his music filled the air. For the first time, I felt truly inside a postcard. Everything looked beautiful and peaceful at the same time. Chapter 4. The Louvre Museum. The next morning, I visited the Louvre Museum, one of the most famous in the world. The building itself looked like a palace. Inside, there were paintings, sculptures, and people from everywhere. I walked through long halls until I finally saw the Mona Lisa. People were standing around it, taking photos. The painting was smaller than I expected, but her smile was mysterious. Mysterious means difficult to understand or explain. I stood quietly for a few minutes, just looking at her. Then I walked around more, learning about French art and history. Every painting seemed to tell a story. Outside the museum, I sat near the glass pyramid and watched the reflection of the clouds. I thought about how art connects all people, no matter their language. Chapter 5. Discovering the French spirit. In the evening, I went back to my hotel, but I wasn't tired. I opened the window and looked at the lights of Paris. The city never really sleeps. To learn more, I read a few facts about France. It is known for art, fashion, good food, and history. The capital city, Paris, is also called the City of Light. People here love cafes, music, and conversation. Every small street has its own story. As I watched the shining Eiffel Tower from my window, I felt thankful. I came to France as a visitor, but the city made me feel welcome. I said to myself, at first, I saw a place. Now, I start to feel its soul. Tomorrow, my French adventure would continue, maybe in another city, or maybe just in another hidden corner of Paris. Chapter 6: A Day in Versailles. One morning, I took a short train ride from Paris to Versailles, a city famous for its royal palace. The train was quiet, and I watched the countryside pass by. When I arrived, the Palace of Versailles looked enormous. Golden gates, long gardens, and fountains everywhere. Enormous means very, very big. Inside, the rooms were full of mirrors, paintings, and chandeliers. I imagined kings and queens walking in those halls hundreds of years ago. Outside, I walked in the garden. The air smelled fresh, and people were taking photos by the fountains. I sat near the water and enjoyed the calm. I thought to myself, France keeps its history alive not only in books, but in every place you visit. Chapter 7: A Rainy Day in Montmartre. The next day, it started to rain. Some people were running with umbrellas, but I decided to keep walking. I climbed the hill of Montmartre, one of the most artistic areas in Paris. Painters sat outside, drawing portraits for tourists. The rain made the streets shine. I stopped near the Sacré-Cœur Basilica. From there, I could see all of Paris below me, gray clouds, but still beautiful. Basilica means a large old church. I sat under a cafe umbrella with a hot chocolate. Around me, people were laughing and talking in French. Even in the rain, the city felt alive. I realized that beauty is not only in sunshine or perfect days, but also in small moments like this one. Chapter 8: Meeting New Friends. One evening, I joined a small cultural event at my hotel. People from different countries were there, some visitors, some locals. I talked to a French student named Claire. She spoke English well and helped me learn a few French words. She taught me to say merci and c'est magnifique. We laughed as I tried to pronounce them correctly. Pronounce means to say a word the right way. Later, a musician started to play the guitar. Everyone clapped and sang together. For the first time, I didn't feel like a tourist. I felt like part of the group. Chapter 9: Learning the Language. As days went by, I wanted to learn more French. Every morning, I practiced a few words before leaving the hotel. At markets, I tried simple sentences like bonjour or combien. The sellers smiled when they saw me trying. Sometimes I made mistakes, and we both laughed. Mistake means when you do something not right. Step by step, I started to understand signs, menus, and conversations. It felt amazing, like opening a new door into another world. Learning a language is not only about words, it's about connecting with people. Chapter 10: Saying Goodbye. On my last day in France, I took one last walk near the river. The Eiffel Tower was glowing in the evening light. I bought a small Eiffel keychain as a souvenir. I looked at it and smiled, thinking of everything I had seen and learned. I whispered, Au revoir, Paris. Au revoir means goodbye in French. When the airplane took off, I looked at the city one more time from above. Paris became smaller and smaller, but my memories of it stayed large in my heart. This journey taught me something important. Every country has a story, and when you travel, you become part of it. Thanks for watching this story all the way to the end. Your support means a lot. If you want to help shape the next episode, comment, "The next country should be," and add the country you'd love to see next. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the next story in our journey around the world.